If you're a spiritually oriented person like me and you're at that point of your life where you just sort of want to build yourself on a spiritual level, live a more content, serene life, this video is definitely for you. I just want to quickly discuss 3 key tips, or actually 4 key things you need to practice if you want to live a more spiritually content and happy life. There's 3 things that you need to get rid of, 3 chains I like to call them, and 1 thing that you need to practice. So the 3 things that you need to get rid of are pride, resentment, and envy. Okay, and the 1 thing you need to practice is gratitude. So let's start from the beginning. I mean, envy. So let's start with envy. It is not easy, obviously, to live a life completely free of envy, especially in this day and age of social media, where you know, the minute you open up Instagram, all you see is like some famous douchebag flaunting their boats and private jets and shit. And it's very easy to feel not content about what you have, and it's very easy to feel envious of other people's wealth, beauty, whatever it may be. What helps me is always looking at those who have less than me and not those who have more than me. When you see somebody who has more than you in terms of look, I just butchered that. When you see somebody who has more than you in terms of wealth or beauty, you know, look at those who have less. Don't compare yourself to those who have more. You know, this society has almost been designed to make us ungrateful. You know, we live in a pyramid scheme of a society where everybody wants to be on the top, and everybody looks at those who are on the top. You know, don't look at those who are on the top. Look at those who have less than you. You know, there are people who are walking around with 1 leg, and there are people who don't have eyes or ears. There are people who don't have hands. You know, look at those people rather than those who have Lamborghinis and those who are rich and famous, because you don't know how they feel spiritually. You know, they may look from externally like they're very happy, but they may be spiritually miserable. And you know, I could provide endless examples of famous celebrities who have fucking killed themselves and committed suicide, and they had everything that the ideal person amongst the masses wants. You know, wealth, fame, etc. So axe envy by looking at those who have less. And now that sort of falls in line with gratitude, and I'll get to that in a second. So resentment, once again, living in the social media world, it's very easy to get angry and resentful at people when they, for example, talk behind your back or do something that pisses you off. But resentment is a very, very heavy chain to the heart, and no matter what it takes, you have to get rid of this chain. Whatever sort of idea, whatever sort of method you can come up with or construct to sort of axe resentment, do it. You know, if crazy works, crazy works. Just completely free yourself from this chain of resentment, and you have to, like, no matter what they do, forgive. I mean, just forgive and forget. You know, no matter what they do, and if you do take what they do personally, if you hold it against them, then it's on you. Okay, you're being selfish at that point. So always try to free yourself of resentment, no matter what method you have to use. And obviously pride. Pride is, unfortunately, you know, in this society we treat pride like it's a good thing. We treat pride as if it's this noble thing. You know, you should be proud of yourself. But I mean, speaking in terms of spiritually, in the universe, you know, in the eyes of the universe, pride is really an abominable thing. And I've always heard, you know, the Bible and all religious texts sort of talking down pride, and I never really, I always sort of heard it and just took it and was heedless of it, but I never really understood it and truly fathomed why pride is such a disgusting thing as of recently. And obviously, you know, we live in an age where everybody is completely narcissistic. I mean, we live in an age where people take 100 selfies a day. You know, people just completely obsessed with themselves, and it is very easy to fall into the trap of pride. But freeing yourself from the chain of pride is again one of the best favors you can ever do to yourself. You know, these chains in our hearts are the only thing that are holding us back from winning the world. You know, we have nothing to lose but our chains. We have a world to win. These are the chains we have to lose. You know, these things, these heavy things. And the 4th one is gratitude. You know, if you want to be more spiritually content, and if you want to be happy, and if you want to have a more content heart, you need to practice gratitude. And once again, this sort of goes in line with envy. It is very, very easy to not feel grateful for what you have, especially living in the day and age we live in, the social media world, where as soon as you open Facebook, or as soon as you open Twitter or Instagram or whatever, I mean, all you see is a bunch of fucking, people bragging about their possessions. You see women flaunting their bodies, posing in bikinis, and it makes other women feel insecure. You see this all the time, everywhere. And it is very easy to not feel grateful and content for what you have. But a method that I've used to sort of feel more grateful about what I have is always looking at those who have less than you in terms of money or beauty, and not those who have more than you. And that's a very easy way to sort of be more grateful. And gratitude is an amazing thing. It's like wine. They call it wine for the soul. And I've been given lots of spiritual knowledge and understanding over the past year and a half. I don't know where it's come from, but I mean, I've always heard these things, but I've never really gotten the chance to truly understand them. And now I understand them, and that's why I'm out here trying to preach and talk to you guys about this. I realize why gratitude is wine for the soul. I realize why resentment and pride and things like that are so harmful to the soul and so abominable in the eyes of the universe. This is just what I believe. This is my personal ideas. Ever since I've made a concerted effort to sort of free myself from a lot of these chains, these negative emotions, whatever you want to call it. I call them spiritual chains. You may call them just negative emotions, whatever. But freeing yourself of these things is key to living a more serene life, spiritual content life, and just being a more happy human being. And when you're a more happy human being, you're a more productive human being, you're a more useful human being, you're a more kind human being. You're just in every way improved. You improve in every way. So yeah, that's honestly all I really wanted to touch on in this video. I just wanted to spread some of my knowledge. I hope you guys can take heed of some of the things I'm saying and take it into consideration. Yeah, just give it a try. If you genuinely feel unhappy, or if you feel depressed, try to practice these things and try to improve yourself on a spiritual level, because that's how happiness is achieved. It's achieved on two things: spiritual contentment and living a life of purpose. That's how happiness is achieved. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to touch on in this video. Yeah, peace, subscribe if you want, whatever, and take care. I'll see you soon, hopefully. Yeah, bye.